The dog pound was treated to one of the most intriguing quarterback battles of the preseason. The Cleveland Browns entered camp with 4 QBs vying for position, from a 40-year-old Super Bowl MVP to 2 decorated rookies. Now, as preseason wraps up, Kevin Stefanski has named veteran Joe Flacco the Week 1 starter, but the journey to that decision was full of twists. Joe Flacco came into camp as the graybeard and leaves it as the starter. Stefanski officially announced Flacco will open the season under center, noting that Flacco was the only QB who made it through camp fully healthy and got consistent reps. Indeed, the competition was derailed by injuries to Flacco's challengers. But credit to Joe, he looked sharp and steady all August. In the preseason finale, Cleveland treated it as a dress rehearsal, and Flacco led the first-team offense for 20 to 25 plays against the Rams. This was the culmination of a camp where, frankly, Flacco outlasted the others. Even if everyone had been healthy, Stefanski may have leaned on Flacco's experience. After all, he guided the Browns to a playoff berth 2 seasons ago and was NFL Comeback Player of the Year. The 40-year-old still slings a beautiful deep ball and brought a calming presence to the huddle. For a team looking to turn the page on the Deshaun Watson era, Flacco's steady hand is viewed as the best way to start the season. In Week 3 against Los Angeles, Flacco looked poised and efficient, delivering quick reads and moving the ball with veteran calmness. He didn't light up the scoreboard, but he reminded everyone that his experience is exactly what this team needs to start the year on solid ground. The most electrifying subplot was rookie Shedeur Sanders, Coach Dillon Sanders' son and a 5th-round pick, seizing his moment. With injuries all around him, Shedeur got the start in the Browns' preseason opener against Carolina. And boy, did he shine. He played into the second half and threw 2 touchdowns in that debut, completing 14 of 23 passes for 138 yards and scrambling for 19 yards. In a 30-10 win over the Panthers, Sanders looked poised after a jittery opening drive. He rolled left and fired a 7-yard laser to Caden Davis for his first touchdown, then later zipped a 12-yard strike to Davis again for another score. His confidence was evident, telling reporters he wasn't nervous and felt prepared for the moment. Unfortunately, a minor oblique injury the following week sidelined Shedeur and paused his momentum. By the 3rd preseason game, Sanders returned but struggled. To be fair, he was playing behind a patchwork offensive line. 4 of the 5 linemen who blocked for him didn't even make the final 53-man roster. He was pressured constantly, and it was hard to evaluate his true progress. The flashes were there, but the growing pains were obvious, and it's clear Sanders will need time and better surroundings before he can be judged fairly. With Shedeur resting in Week 2, Dillon Gabriel, the Browns' 3rd-round pick, took center stage against the Eagles and engineered an impressive opening touchdown drive. He went a perfect 4 for 4 to convert 3 third downs on a 13-play, 63-yard march, showing poise and rhythm. After that hot start, he had a classic rookie mistake by forcing a pass into traffic for a pick 6, but overall he finished 13 of 18 for 143 yards and showed why Cleveland invested in him. Coach Stefanski said Gabriel seized his opportunity despite 2 costly mistakes, and his command of the offense was evident. In the preseason finale, Gabriel again looked steady. He got extended reps, stayed efficient, and played with confidence even when the line broke down. He finished the preseason looking like a rookie with real promise, showing the quick release and accuracy that made him such an intriguing draft pick. At this point, Gabriel has likely solidified himself as the QB2 once healthy, someone who could be groomed behind Flacco without being rushed too quickly. It has to be said, this competition was as much about the training room as the practice field. Coming into camp, the Browns envisioned a 4-way derby: Flacco, Kenny Pickett, plus the 2 rookies. But by mid-August, injuries had KO'd nearly everyone but Joe. Pickett injured his hamstring early and never got back to full 11-on-11 work, essentially eliminating his shot at the job. Gabriel also battled a hamstring tweak that limited him, though he pushed through to play, and Sanders' oblique strain kept him out of the second preseason game. In the end, durability and experience won out, which is partly why Flacco was the logical choice to open the season. The silver lining is that all 3 injured QBs are on the mend now, and Cleveland might keep all 4 on the roster to continue developing the young guns. The big question in Cleveland is what the plan looks like for Sanders and Gabriel going forward. With Flacco as the bridge, the Browns have multiple long-term options. Don't expect either rookie to be shipped off or buried on the bench. The organization is deeply invested in developing them. Shedeur in particular has captured imaginations, and while his final preseason showing wasn't strong, fans are eager to see him once he's playing behind a legitimate offensive line. Gabriel, meanwhile, looks like the steadier of the 2 for now, but both both bring qualities that could make them long-term starters if given the right time and support. Kenny Pickett's future is more uncertain, and it wouldn't be shocking if Cleveland considered moving him once he's healthy if the right offer comes along. For now, Flacco is the clear QB1, but the rookies loom as developmental pieces the Browns believe in. Beyond the quarterbacks, the rest of this roster is in strong shape and deserves attention. Wide receiver Jerry Jeudy has stepped into the WR1 role and has already built chemistry with Flacco during camp. His quickness out of breaks and ability to separate underneath makes him the reliable chain mover this offense needs. Elijah Moore adds versatility, able to line up outside or in the slot, while tight end David Njoku remains one of the most athletic tight ends in the league and a matchup nightmare in the red zone. Greg Newsome has quietly had a strong camp in the secondary, showing improved technique and positioning. With him, Denzel Ward, and Martin Emerson, Cleveland's cornerback group could be one of the deepest in the AFC, which will be critical when facing the elite quarterbacks in their division. And then there's Myles Garrett, who looks every bit the Defensive Player of the Year candidate again. Garrett dominated practices and showed flashes in preseason snaps, collapsing pockets and commanding double teams. His presence alone changes game plans, and paired with Zadarius Smith, Cleveland's pass rush will once again be the heartbeat of this defense. The overall roster gives this team balance, a top-tier pass rush, a strong secondary, and capable offensive weapons, and it's part of why the Browns still believe they can contend in the AFC North, even with uncertainty at quarterback. That balance also sets the stage for a fascinating season outlook. If things go well, if Flacco manages the offense efficiently, if Jeudy emerges as the dependable top target, and if Garrett and the pass rush dominate, this team has a ceiling of around 11 wins. An 11-6 record would put them firmly in the playoff mix and potentially contending for the division crown, especially if the defense lives up to its top 5 potential. On the flip side, the floor is more modest. If Flacco struggles or misses time, if the rookies aren't ready when called upon, or if injuries again hit the offensive line and secondary, Cleveland could just as easily limp to 6-11. That's the reality of relying on a 40-year-old quarterback and 2 rookies waiting in the wings. Most realistically, the Browns fall somewhere in the middle, around 8-9 or 9-8, keeping themselves competitive but also leaving room for a transition year as the next generation develops. The wide range of outcomes speaks to both the promise and the volatility of this team. Browns fans, it's been a roller coaster, but one that leaves the team in a better spot than a year ago. They have options, they have hope for the future, and they have a savvy vet to lead the way now. So get ready for week 1 with Joe Flacco and keep those dog-pound binoculars handy. You might just see the next generation warming up on the sideline, ready when called. Cleveland's QB saga is far from over, but that's a good thing.